The breaking news this hour, a formal indictment of the Nigerian man accused of trying to blow up a U.S. airliner on Christmas. A federal grand jury in Detroit issuing the charges just a few moments ago. Let's bring in our Homeland Security correspondent, Jean Meserve. Jean, you've read the indictment.
That's right, Wolf. The 6-count indictment charges Umar Farouk Abdul-Muttalib, the 23-year-old Nigerian, with the following: attempted use of a weapon of mass destruction, which carries a penalty of up to life in prison; attempted murder of the 289 other people on that Northwest Airlines aircraft, with a penalty of up to 20 years in prison; willfully attempting to attack and destroy the aircraft, again up to 20 years; willfully placing a destructive device in an aircraft, with a penalty again up to 20 years; and counts 5 and 6 cover possession of a firearm or destructive device in furtherance of a crime of violence. Each of those counts carries a penalty of up to 30 years in prison. It's worth noting that there is no mention of terrorism in the charges, although President Obama has characterized the events of Christmas Day as an attempted attack by al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. In a statement, Attorney General Eric Holder characterizes the investigation as fast-paced, global, and ongoing, and says it has already yielded valuable intelligence. He says that anyone found responsible for the alleged attack will be brought to justice using every tool, military or judicial, available to our government. Abdul-Muttalib is scheduled to have his first court appearance on Friday, Wolf.
Yeah, I suspect with all these charges, no bail is going to be made available.
I would suspect that's
this guy staying in jail. All right, Gene, I know you had an exclusive interview today with Janet Napolitano as well. We're going to get to that later. I want to hear what she has to say today, but stand by for that. Let's bring in our senior legal analyst, Jeffrey Toobin, right now to assess this indictment, the 6-count indictment. I have it here, Jeffrey. I just read it myself. The bomb constituted, it says, a weapon of mass destruction. Specifically, what does that mean legally as far as what kind of situation this young man is in?
Well, the legal situation here is very similar to the one that Richard Reed, the shoe bomber, faced after he was arrested in 2002. The charges are very similar, and the consequences are likely to be very similar. Because no one died, fortunately, there is no eligibility here for the death penalty. But certainly it is very hard to imagine that this case ending either in a guilty plea or after trial in anything other than a sentence of life in prison.
So as far as a plea bargain is concerned, because we even heard the president's counterterrorism advisor speak Sunday of the possibility that if there's a plea agreement, maybe these charges could be reduced if he cooperates and provides information with U.S. authorities. As a former assistant U.S. attorney yourself, is that in the realm of possibility?
Well, I would say it's close to out of the realm of possibility. Given the magnitude of this crime, the idea that the Justice Department would agree to anything less than a life sentence is very unlikely. And remember, the Justice Department and other administration officials have already said that he has provided useful information already. In a fast-moving investigation, the longer the time passes, the less valuable information is. I don't see what leverage this defendant has. I think a plea bargain of any kind where he gets anything less than a life sentence is unlikely, because I don't think the Justice Department needs him anymore since they've gotten information, and there will be enormous political pressure appropriately on the Justice Department to make him serve life in prison.
And very quickly, if you were his criminal defense attorney, his public defender, and he does have lawyers right now, what strategy do you do?
Well, I might consider going to medical school instead, because I don't think that the lawyer has much chance of doing anything. I think to the extent he could, his lawyer is a woman, could negotiate perhaps for where he will serve his sentence, whether he has access to relatives, whether he can do some sort of training in prison. Those are the only things she could really ask for. I think the leverage of his defense attorneys is very small at this point.
All right, Jeffrey, thanks very much. Jeffrey Toobin with the breaking news.